Hi again, Mark here from Talking Bass. So a little while ago I gave you a lesson on how to break out of the old major scale box pattern and move fluently all around the neck. Now the secret is to actually learn lines that move through multiple positions on the fretboard. It's not enough to just learn some fretboard patterns and, hope for the best. You need to actually learn lines and etudes that drill those position shifts. So today we'll take a look at the minor scale and a run that takes a journey from the open position all the way up through the mid area and then past the 12th fret. So let's get into it. So this is a 2-octave natural minor scale line finishing with a minor 7 arpeggio that sounds like this. So, first things first, I want you to learn the line without any consideration for the positions themselves. Just learn the notes and the position shifts, get the fingering down and practice it. Then you can delve a little deeper into the general position patterns. So, let's work through those notes. So, this is an A natural minor scale, which is the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, there's no sharps or flats in there. So, we start on the open A string. And then we come up through B and C, second and third frets. And that's going to be with the first and second fingers. So for each of these frets here, we're going to be taking first and second fingers for the second and third frets. So then we have the open D string, then E, F, second and third frets on the D string. Okay, so again with first and second finger. Then we take the G at the 5th fret of the D string with the 4th finger, so the pinky. Okay. So that's the movement through that first position. Next we move up to the A, 7th fret of the D string, and then we play A, B, C. So that's 7th, 9th and 10th frets with the 1st, 3rd and 4th fingers. Okay, so this is a new position. So we worked up through that first position. After playing the G with that 4th finger, we make a shift with the 1st finger to the A. So if you're having any problems there, just isolate the move. So 4th finger, 5th fret, 1st finger, 7th fret. Just get used to that shift. Okay? Then you're free to work up through the A, B, C. Then we move up on to the G string with D, E, F. So that's going to be 7th, 9th and 10th frets again. So exactly the same frets with exactly the same fingering as we just played. So this is basically a repeat of what we played down here, just up the octave on the D and the G strings. So and you can see that the hardest thing there is going to be that position shift where we're moving from the 5th to the 7th fret. You want to make that as smooth as possible as you come up. You don't want to take the finger off, bring it back down and have a gap. Don't want any of that. You want to hold each of these notes for full duration. Ba-bam. Okay, no gaps. So taking this line as slow as you need to while retaining the held note duration. Then we move up into this high position of G and A there, 12th fret and 14th fret on the G string. So we played the F there at the 10th fret of the G string with that 4th finger, and then we make that shift again, just as we played down here. First finger to the 12th fret. So 4th finger 10th fret, 1st finger 12th fret. If you need to isolate isolate the move. Okay, and then you just finish off with that A at the top on the 3rd finger. Then when we reach the top, we have a little turnaround at the top. So we play A, G, and then back to there. This is just to rhythmically bring it round in 4/4. So. Okay, and then you can start again in the descent. So if you think about the rhythm, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then we're on the 1 at that A again. Then we make our descent. Now, instead of coming back down, tracing the breadcrumbs that we just laid as we ascended, we're going to be working down in that upper position. Okay, so we're hanging around in this position a little longer. So A, G, F, E, D. So 14th, 12th frets on the G string, then we come down 15th, 14th, and 12th frets on the D string. Then we're going to shift down with the 4th finger to the C, B, A. Okay, so we're coming down through those notes that we played there on the D string. So 10th, 9th, and 7th frets on the D string. Okay, so I've done this up at the top so that we get to hang around in that upper position just a little longer so that we're not moving straight up and back down. It cuts down on the position shifts and it gives you a little bit of practice in this upper position. So you get to you get to feel what it's like to be in this upper position. But we'll get to all that in a minute. So okay, so we've got another position shift there. 12th fret with the 1st finger down to the 10th fret with the 4th finger. Again, if you're having problems, isolate the move. Then when we reach the A at the 7th fret, we move down with that 1st finger to the G, to the 5th fret. So we come down. Then we come down a little differently to how we ascended. So we've got this F, E, D there, so 8th, 7th, and 5th frets there on the A string. So, and then we can just come down into that open position again with the C, B, A. So 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and open string. Then to bring us round, we hit the G at the 3rd fret of the E string. So just rhythmically to bring us around. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and and then we come up through the A minor 7 arpeggio, which we play as follows. Okay, so it's a little bit different from the average kind of 2-octave pattern you might see. So this is just to show how you can make use of open strings in making these position shifts. So the A minor 7 arpeggio is going to be A, C, E, and G. So A, C, E, G. And we start on the open A string. We come to the C at the 3rd fret of the A string, E at the 2nd fret of the D string, and then the open G string. So that's the 1st octave of the arpeggio. And then we jump up to the 12th fret of the A string. So that's going to be the A, then the C at the 10th fret of the D string, then the E at the 9th fret of the G string. So it's just a different pattern there. Then we have the G at the 12th fret of the G string, and then we jump up with the 1st finger to take the A at the 14th fret. Okay, so that open G string is facilitating this position shift up to the 12th fret. Okay, so the whole line. Okay, so you want to practice that line away from a metronome. Don't worry about, strict rhythm or anything like that. Yes, it's notated as pure 16th notes, but you can play around with the feel in a more rubato way. So instead of that, you can practice it more out of time like this. Next, we can look a little deeper into the positions. So just in case you don't know the regular old natural minor scale, the common pattern that you're likely to learn looks like this. Okay, so that's an A natural minor scale, which is, like I said, the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So no flats or sharps. And the frets that I'm playing here are starting at the 5th fret of the A string. We have 5th, 7th, and 8th fret, and then exactly the same on the A string, 5th, 7th, and 8th frets, and then 5th and 7th frets on the D string. So very simple pattern there. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Practice that up and down, and I'm using the fingering here of 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger. 1st finger, 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1st finger, 3rd finger. Simple. So, now you have that basic fingering, we can move it around to different positions on the fretboard. We can play it in the open position, so with the open strings. So same pattern, just down there at the open strings. We can play it in that middle position, starting at the 5th fret that we just played. And then we can play it in this higher area, starting at the 12th fret of the A string. So there I'm basically just starting on various root notes of A on the E and the A strings. So A, and you could play it all the way up there as well. Next, we can add some extra fingerings into the mix by extending that mid position. So when we learned the scale, we just worked up to the octave of the A there at the 7th fret of the D string. But what you can also do is work up. Then when you get to that 5th fret, the G there, so 5th fret on the D string, you can move that first finger up to the octave of the A there at the 7th fret, which puts you in a position to start all over again. So we can play the notes that we had there and the patterns that we had there up here. So these is just the octave higher than those. So okay, so we've just extended that position a little bit. So we're kind of working around the 5th to the 10th fret there. Then we can extend our open position a little by using the G at the 5th fret of the D string rather than the open string. So that would give us... So we're playing the G here at the 5th fret of the D string instead of this open string. So originally we would have... But now... worked up there, and that's going to allow us to shift up into a higher position here. So this is basically facilitating that move, okay? So this is how you get out of those small box patterns. It's going to provide a doorway for an easier shift, because otherwise, you know, you're caught up in this open position thing down here. So, okay? So this means that we can now shift between all of these positions a lot easier. So let's say that we come up through this open position fingering with this G here. We can then shift up to the A. Okay, so this was the extended mid position, you know, at the octave. But then if we want to stay around that mid area, we can just stay there. Or we can come back down, okay? Now when we reach the top, if we just keep ascending, we can then make that shift into this higher position at the 12th fret, but we're joining it at that G at the 12th fret. Now when you reach that upper position, you can stay in that higher position if you want to. We've used that G string there, that F to the G as the doorway for leading into this higher position. So, okay, so here we are in this upper position. And if we wanted to shift down, just as we did in our opening line, here we are. So, back to the original line, you can see how we're utilizing these three positions. We've got the low open area, we've got this middle area, and then this upper area. So we start at the open A, ascend, use that G as our little transition point, up into that mid area, and up into that top area. Hang around in that area a little bit, down on the D string, shift back down into the middle area, come down, and then back down into the open. So and then obviously using the G, the low G below the A, it's one of the scale notes, it's the 7th of the 7th degree of the scale to bring us back round. So, like I pointed out, we've ascended and descended differently in order to create a more relaxed fingering. And this is great for practicing movement through the different areas of the fretboard. We're not rigidly fixed to an ascending and descending pattern. We're simply moving through the positions in a relaxed manner using a variety of these doorways. Then, when we finally run up through the tonic 7th arpeggio of the scale, which is the A minor 7, we're making use of those open strings to provide an easy jump from that open position into that upper position. Okay, so we're back up here. But we've made a direct move from the open position into that upper position. Now, that open position arpeggio is the regular old fingering that you've probably all played before. But the upper position is a 4th finger pattern starting at that 12th fret. So, unlike, the first finger pattern that most of you will know, that 4th finger pattern is, it's the same notes, it's just a different way of fingering it. And I'm using that so that I don't have to make as big a move as I would if I'd have used the first finger on each one. So now obviously there are many different ways that you could work through that. Many different ways. This is just one way of working through a minor 7 arpeggio in 2 octaves. So this line is one of 96 different etudes in the upcoming Cyborg Bassist Volume 2 Minor Mastery. It's the follow-up to the popular Volume 1 that I released earlier this year. Every key is addressed separately, and it's never a case of, just moving a pattern around. Every etude provides multiple position shifts and a specific set of hurdles to overcome. It'll be released in the coming month, so sign up to the Talking Bass website for free to keep up to date on all the developments. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment to let me know what other scales you'd like me to cover. The lesson material is all there over at the Talking Bass website, so just click on the link in the info below, and I'll see you next week.